What's up, guys? It's your girl Liz, and today I'm here with a Mother's Day story. So I dropped the bomb in my second to last video, I believe, that I had a baby. Yes, I am part of the mom club now. It's Mother's Day weekend. My daughter's half birthday is on Monday. It's Ramadan. Eid is coming up. I've just been in such a good mood. We've been trying to stay healthy in this quarantine, spending all the quality time that I can right now with my beautiful baby girl. So this video is going to be getting ready with me for this look. Nothing really too specific. I just kind of went off of my shirt. And I'm going to be telling you guys the story on how I became a mother of my beautiful daughter, Sophia May. Let's just get right into it. So we're going to try to get through this while actually doing our makeup and while just getting to the details, so it's not too long of a video. I'm not really going to tell you guys like what I'm using. Like, I don't know, this is my primer and it's from Smashbox. It's the, photo finish foundation primer from Smashbox that everybody knows and loves. Let's get this face restarted for the second time now today. I'm losing daylight now, so we'll see how well this goes. So, unfortunately, to talk about my journey of becoming a mother, I have to touch on quite a touchy subject. But if you saw the last video I posted on my channel, it was a collection of Pakistani outfits because it is the month of Ramadan right now. So, it's extra emotional to me this year to have Mother's Day come during Ramadan and have Eid come up, because 2 years ago we were at the masjid for Eid prayer, and I'm gonna kind of just say my part of it without really getting into too much detail, because once again I'm trying really not to cry in this video. We're like more than halfway through Eid prayer, and I go down to pray, and it just gets really quiet, like in my head. It's like I'm in a movie, like when the world just becomes like a silent echo, and you're just really in tune with like your inner self. And I've really had, a moment with God, and I was just really emotional that whole day. And after that, experience of me just really resonating with, the recitation and just getting so emotional. I mean, I cry in prayer all the time, but it was just completely different, and I just knew in that moment, basically. So me and my husband, we go home. We went home like to change and everything, and then we were going to go to my mother and father-in-law's house later for, big dinner and everything. And I go home and I take a pregnancy test. I go upstairs and I take it. I come back downstairs, and my husband could kind of just tell that I was just a little just different off, and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Nothing." And I ran upstairs. I checked the test and it says positive. I go downstairs and I have it behind my back, and I'm like, I really don't know like how I even want to tell you this, or like how I even have prepared or thought in my mind to tell you this. And he was like, "What?" Like, and I feel like I don't remember if he said like, "What, are you pregnant?" or like if he just like knew. And I pulled it out from my back and I was pregnant, and it was just after Eid prayer, and it's just like, wow, mashallah, alhamdulillah, like how crazy. Picked me up, spun me around, big happy times and everything. We're like, okay, don't tell anybody until we're definitely sure. So long story short, we go to the patient first the next day. We get the blood work done. It says positive. I'm waiting for the next day to find out, the number of the HCG, to see how far along I am. And I ended up being, I believe, like 6 weeks. So that's where this story begins. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. baby girl usually has about an hour to an hour and a half nap right now, so I thought I could film this for you, but all in the story of becoming a mom. So, we're in prayer, have a moment, I go home, I have the strong feeling to take a pregnancy test, it's positive, whoop-de-doo, I'm 6 weeks along. So we tell his parents, and then we tell his sisters. I went to Walmart and got like plain white tees, and I told my mom and my dad it was like a pocketed tee, and so they already have one grandchild. My brother has a son, and I put on the shirts Mimi and Paw of 2019 because my due date was May 9th. We start talking names and, you know, everything that comes along with that. And I get to work and I go to the bathroom, and I'm sure you guys can pan out the rest. I ended up losing that pregnancy. You guys can call me crazy if you want, but I swear that would have been a boy, or that it was a boy. And that was in August. So then come October, we weren't really trying for a baby because we were still like recovering from what happened. I had been tracking everything so strategically and specifically on this app called Ovia, and it's like an ovulation tracking app and everything. And it told me, you know, hey, you're late, go take a test. I took the test and it was positive. I tell my husband, and we waited to tell anybody, or, you know, I didn't even call the doctor and say, hey, you know, this is what happened, to make an appointment or anything. And I just waited. It was like 2 days later, I ended up starting that cycle and losing that one. And then again in December, the same thing happened again. Started having like weird feelings and everything. Apparently my main symptom for the rest of my life, I'm gonna know that I'm pregnant if I have like those crazy dreams. Like, I've always had like night terrors, which is like some weird like back of the mind psychology stuff I should probably deal with, but like it's like just out of nowhere, just like audacious dreams, and usually like zombie related, so whatever that is. Took another test, same situation. It was clear positive. I took 2 that time actually, and they were both positive. And then like literally the next morning started my cycle. So it's very rare for the tests to have a false positive. So that's basically what the doctor said. You know, if it was positive, it was positive. But if you didn't come and get the blood work to check, there's like some things that may have thrown it off and made it, you know, positive when it shouldn't have been. So that's the story of my 3 losses. I started undergoing like not infertility treatments, just like the investigation to see like what's going on, what are the numbers and the blood work and the scans and all the stuff. So last March 2019, something that I did talk about in one of my videos last year that I posted, I had chronic lymphatic sinusitis. So, oh, Sophia's up again. So I started my face without even turning my ring light on. Like, you can tell how long it's been since I filmed. And she didn't want to sleep in the other room, so now she's in the swing behind us. I don't think lullabies are copyrighted, but we will find out. So, restarting my thing for last year. So, I had, from literally the end of October all the way through March, when I found out I was pregnant with her, I had chronic lymphatic sinusitis, which means I had such a bad sinus infection, it like backed up up my whole sinuses and into the lymph nodes that are in my face there. So I went to go see an ENT at the end of February, and he said he was going to do this like roto-rooter kind of thing on my sinuses. All the details of this, well, some of the details of this are on the video. I'll like link it down below. So long story short, I had to go get a CT scan of my sinuses before he could operate on them. And if any female has ever had a CT scan before, you would know they ask you preliminarily if you have ever had, you know, if you're on birth control, if there's a possibility of you being pregnant, you have to like show that you're like prescribed or like somehow declare abstinence. And I wasn't on any medication and I couldn't declare abstinence. So I had to go to patient first, back to the same patient first I went to the first time I found out. And I had to get blood work done to show that I wasn't expecting, so that I could go through with the CT scan literally the next day. So this is a Wednesday. Tuesday, I think it was a Wednesday that I went to patient first to get my blood work done. The CT was literally that next day on Thursday. And they do my blood. She takes 2 vials of blood. And I asked, why are you taking 2 vials of blood if I'm only getting the one test done? And she said, just in case there's any reason for any further testing. I wait and wait for the results to come back. And this lady, a doctor, you know, she comes in and she says, if the test comes back positive, we'll have to send it back for the numerical value of the HCG so we can tell you how far along it is. And I'm like, wait, why do you have to send it out? Because it's positive? What do you mean? And she was like, well, if the test is positive, then we'll send it out. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. I was here literally last year, like 4 or 5 months ago. I don't know how to count. With a pregnancy test, and clearly I'm not pregnant right now. So yeah, get to the chase. Go back in your little lab and tell me it's negative so I can get the truck in and get this test done so I can get rid of this chronic sinus infection that I literally had migraines and like whooping cough for months, guys. So I text my husband or my mom, like one or the other, and I'm like telling them how much like the lady is like aggravating me. Like I'm sitting around, I'm not sick, I'm wearing a face mask because this was way before times of quarantine. I'm wearing a face mask because I don't want to get sick around all these other sick people. Sorry, I just noticed I think I was blocking my face for like half of that. I don't want to get sick. All these other people are in here and they're actually sick. Like, you know, just charges. They come back. They say, okay, great. Your test was negative. You're good to go home. I'm like, okay, cool, great. Get my bag. Give me that in writing because I need to go. And, you know, she got all concerned. Oh, is there a reason that you didn't want it to be positive? Is everything okay at home? All this stuff. Like, no. I've told you guys like 6 times since I've been here. I just need to know so I can go get the CT test done. I have a sinus infection. Then she's asking me if I want medication for the sinus infection. No, I wanted to say not pregnant so I can leave. So, I go home. I call my mom. I call my husband. Okay, cool. The pregnancy test is negative. I have my test tomorrow. We're going to be able to, get things going on this sinus infection. So I don't answer unsaved numbers. Like if you call my phone and I don't have your number saved, you're absolutely not getting an answer because there's too many debt collectors and there's too many telemarketers and there's too much bull that I don't answer it ever. Never, 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 ever. So me and my sister-in-law, later that day, me, my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, and my 2 nephews were going down to this little waterfront property just to go enjoy a beautiful day and get out in some nature, yada, yada, yada. We're on the way there, and, okay, so I'm going to try and, just spitfire, the details without, dragging this on, because I feel like this video is going to be so long. I answer the call. They say, hello. We left you a message. Can you answer the message and call us back? No, I'm on the phone with you. What's going on? She said, okay, well, it says that you were coming in to get cleared for a CT, but it doesn't say, or you were referred, no, I'm sorry. So then it says you were referred for a CT, but it doesn't say what kind of CT you were referred for. And I'm like, no, nobody should have referred me for anything. I was being cleared for a CT, but like I don't need a referral. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I was just the one dialing your number, but I'm not the nurse that actually knows what's going on. Let me transfer you to Sally Joe that knows what's going on. So she transfers me to her, and she's like, yeah, it says that you were being cleared for a CT that you're not clear for. And I say, oh, somebody's honking outside. And I say, what do you mean I'm not clear? Why am I not clear? She said, ma'am, we got a positive result on your pregnancy test. I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean? So she said, you know, while your blood, I'm not a scientist or anything, but while your blood is out of your body, certain things die off that don't need to be there, and other things are more prominent. So the first vial of blood they tested, after a while, they checked the stick again, apparently after you guys leave, just so you know. And it was positive, it changed to positive. And then they checked the second tube, and it was an automatic positive because the blood had been out the same amount of time. The other first blood, so yeah, it was a positive. And she said, you know, we're going to send out for the HCG so we can tell you how far along you are and everything. But, yeah, don't go get that CT test tomorrow because you're pregnant. Man, okay, so I already had the cutesy thing with the first pregnancy that I lost. With the hubby hugging me and spinning in the living room and, oh my goodness, and, you know, surprise announcements to my parents. And I called my mom. I was like, I'm about to sue patient first. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, they said it was positive. They let me leave as a negative, and all of a sudden it's a positive. I call my husband, and she's like, wait, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, yeah, apparently I'm freaking pregnant, apparently. So I call my husband back, and I tell him the same thing. He's literally, like, on his way back down, like, to, like, Southern Maryland from D.C., if anybody knows any of that. Like, 2-hour drive. And I'm like, yeah. It said it was pregnant. It was positive, so, yeah, we're pregnant. And he's like, okay, wow, all right. And so we're like, all right, we don't want to believe anything. It was, like, too good to be true because of what we had already gone through. I wait for patient first to call back the next day, and, I mean, yeah, it said I was still pregnant. They said that I could come in and get the blood work drawn again, but it said that I was literally 3 weeks and 3 days pregnant. Now, if anybody's ever seen pregnancy test commercials, they're like, oh, 1 week before your missed period, we'll be able to tell you. Literally, guys, 3 weeks and 3 days, I found out that I was pregnant. So, I ended up having a high-risk pregnancy. I had to go to a high-risk OB the whole time, as well as my regular OB. I went to the doctor every other week for 9 months. 8 months. A big, but a huge plus out of that, and I will show you guys. I made a huge book of all my pregnancy photos. So I will just show you guys. I got to get the 3D photos every 2 weeks, and then in my 3rd trimester, it was every single week that I got the 3D photos. Like, look at this. Isn't that so cool? Like, technology is just so above and beyond, and every time I went, I was just so in awe of, like, the medical advances that have happened. Let me see, I don't think I had another one. I made a book of, like, all of my bump photos and everything. Here, I'll show you guys one. So that was me while I was huge. I could probably just insert some pictures, but it'll be a lot easier just to show you guys. This was the last 3D photo that I got. Of my little sunshine. My due date was November 28th. I had a high-risk pregnancy the whole time. Like I said, she suffered from IUGR, which is intrauterine growth restriction, which means she was a little bit smaller than she should have been for her age. But I've always been a little skinny twig my whole life, so it was completely expected. No problems, no complications, no worries, no nothing. My whole pregnancy, here's some more of my photo shoot here. I love that photo of me. Let me find a good one of me and hubby to show you. We did like the cutesy Instagram ones. They were so adorable. Look at that sunset pic, guys. So cute. I look so huge with my dress just darting down. And this was me and hubby the morning of. That was at home, and then in the hospital there getting ready for my surgery. So on to that part of the story. I did have a scheduled C-section. My daughter was born November 11th, 2019 at 8:40 in the morning, weighing 5 pounds even, 19 inches long. Surgery was pretty quick. I didn't really have any complications. Well, I didn't have any complications with the surgery itself. Unfortunately, after I was done and in recovery, they noticed that my blood pressure like shot up through the roof. So I was on a 24-hour magnesium drip to prevent seizure and stroke while your blood pressure is that high. It was such a moment in surgery. Hubby and I, you know, just waiting for them to say that she was here, and the first thing that we hear is black hair and blue eyes, and her eyes were just wide open and awake and ready to see the world. Really wanted to see my surgery so bad. I'm that kind of person. I watched like 4 or 5 like real life C-sections online before I she did not nap today like I expected her to, and this is just becoming way longer of a video than I expected, you guys. I keep losing track of thought, guys, but we were in the hospital from Monday to Thursday, and then we went to the doctor's the next day for her little like 1-week checkup, her like discharge checkup. She will be 6 months the day after Mother's Day on May 11th. That brings me to another topic that I forgot to point on. So my mom's birthday is October 28th. My birthday is 7 days later on November 4th. And her birthday is 7 days later on November 11th. So all 3 of us are Scorpios. All 3 of us are 1 week apart. Power of 3. It's going to be crazy. So you guys, I haven't done liquid eyeliner in forever, but I was just feeling it today, and I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it for you. It's definitely not even, but it's not terrible. Not terrible. I was off work from my birthday, November 4th. I worked full-time all the way up until 1 week before my C-section. I was doing dishes the Saturday after. I have quite a tolerance for pain, and I just feel like I knew it was gonna hurt, but it wasn't like a active like pain, like something's happening right now hurt. It was just like a sore, healing pain. I tried to go back to work the day before Christmas, which was only like 5 weeks after. The Friday before Christmas, I think, was like 5 weeks after she was born. Even though I wanted to be out for 8 weeks, and I ended up being out for 10 weeks, I ended up having a kidney infection again, and was too weak and had too much of a fever to go into work for that Christmas weekend. speaking of my kidney infection, I totally forgot one of the main parts of the story. So I found that I was pregnant on Wednesday in March. I went and got it verified on Thursday, and then Saturday I ended up, so I was having some kidney pain, and I went to the hospital because I've never been pregnant before with a kidney infection. I didn't know what to do, what to take, I didn't know what was safe or anything, so I just went, figured they would give me a full workup and everything, call it a day. They told me that I had a huge cyst in my abdomen that could have possibly been an ovarian cyst, could have possibly been coming off of my kidney, which is why I was having kidney pain. And that was something that I had to deal with and go. I had to get an MRI on that during my pregnancy as well. So either way, I found out that I was pregnant because I was getting cleared for a CT, and then either way, they gave me an MRI during my pregnancy. Anyway, so they said that if need be, during my C-section, they were going to have a general surgeon come in and, remove the cyst. But it ended up shrinking. It was like 7 by 9 centimeters. They said that if I wasn't pregnant, they would have surgically removed it that day. I know that this story is so all over the place, guys. I hope that I can fix it in editing because I wanted to tell my story for Mother's Day, and of course, she just didn't want to sleep like she usually does right now. The sun is down now. I'm only relying on my ring light, and I have had to feed her and burp her and rock her like 7 times during the filming of this. I probably missed details, so editing Elizabeth may pop in at times, and captions may be one of my best friends. I don't know, guys. So, finishing it off with one of my weirdest combos. My coral lipstick mixed with my new favorite, the Kat Von D Bow and Arrow Everlasting Lip. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me do my makeup, hearing a little bit of the story on how I became a mother. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. The village, we thank you all. I love all the mothers in my life. Real in-laws, work moms, apprentices that I've had in my life. I love you all. I thank you all for all of your guidance and support. I'm sure this video was long enough. Thank you guys once again for watching. Like, comment down below if you're a mom, what year you became a mom. And I will catch you guys on the flip.